sweetness. Oh, the love is cozy, but I need so much more. It just intensifies my wants to have a love that endures. Cause every time I close my eyes, I think of you. It don't matter what the season is, I still love you. With all my heart, I wanna be with you wherever you are. I only think of you on two occasions. That's day and night. I go for gold if I could be with you. Only you can make it right. And no two love is special at this time of the year. But when the leaves are gone, does that love disappear? I never underestimate the new love of spring. But I'm glad to say in my heart, I know my love lasting. Cause every time I close my eyes, I think of you. It don't matter what the season is, I still love you. With all my heart, I wanna be wherever you are. I only think of you. That was by special request. And I wanted to get into Grown Folks TV false flag. And see, at the end of the day, one of the things that you have to keep in mind when you just lost a channel, that means that you're not supposed to be on YouTube, period. YouTube did not intend to take an entire channel for you to be back up on YouTube. So everybody that's helping you do it is being put at risk of losing their channel because your ego can't tolerate the fact that people don't need to use you in order to get an audience. They don't need to use you to retain an audience. They don't have to include you in anything. They tend to avoid you like an HIV positive status sex partner. And that's the reason why your karma for you is always the way that it is. I ain't gonna be up here too long. And they always, there's a reason why. A lot of people say, well, why do you think I stream from more than one channel? For a reason. And a lot of times, this is why I tell the sisterin to be careful when it comes to these type of individuals and why you want to keep them as far away from you as you can possibly get them. Now, the thing about it is, Grown Folks TV, you just lost the channel. That means that YouTube determined that your content was not suitable for its platform. Now, the channel that you actually popped using that same tactic, claiming that it was spam, deceptive practices, or some type of scamming going on, I could have very well appealed that and I would have won that. But the fact of the matter is, I built a channel that surpassed that channel. It doesn't matter what you do or say to somebody else's channel. It doesn't matter what you do or say about another content creator. Those that get the gist, the way that this works, you're not going to be able to say or do anything to make people fuck with you that don't like you. And that's just the fact of the matter. A lot of people believe if I do away with this content creator, that somehow means something for me and my platform. And nothing can be further away from the truth. People don't fuck with you because they don't like you. So it doesn't matter what you expose, or what you attempt to do to another content creator. The only people that are going to get on that bandwagon with you is individuals who think and operate just like you. But if they're content creators, and to the YouTube support team, I say this: take note of the IP addresses of channels that have been terminated. Because while you're doing that, what you're actually doing, if you've already successfully, see, they're going to do what works. And one of the ways that they were able to pop another channel was to claim, I don't sell anything. I'm not promoting anything that it could even be perceived as spam, deceptive. And the fact of the matter is, there are certain channels that they target for that type of flag. It's a false flag nonetheless. But there's only certain channels that they can target for that. There is no reason why a video that was streamed from another channel, StreamYards gives you the option to stream from 10 channels simultaneously, in addition to other platforms. So there is no reason why a video or a live stream would not be terminated on one channel, but was terminated. And the only thing that actually happened was there was no strikes on that channel. So the only thing that I received was a warning. But at the end of the day, it's a false flag. This is what YouTube policy states regarding its spam, deceptive practices, and scams. And I'm going to appeal it because I want the IP addresses of the individuals who did it to be red flagged. And when I file the complaint with YouTube, I'm going to actually specify that YouTube, the support system, the support team, looks into the IP addresses that did the flagging. Because there was nothing being sold or nothing deceptive about a live stream where I'm playing music and giving commentary. So that is a strategic false flag. And I want every motherfucker that took a part of it to lose their fucking channel. Nothing that you do, just like you or your predecessors or anybody that thinks and operates like you, has been able to do to stop my shine on YouTube. They're not going to just start disliking me and start fucking with you. If they do, that means that they never liked me to begin with. And in that instance, I'm not losing anything. But that's exactly the reason why individuals that are arrogant like you, that believe that you can get up here and do and say certain shit and then have the audacity to flag somebody else's shit. Because technically, every person that's ever lost a YouTube channel, should it come to YouTube's attention that they have another account, they could lose that account as well. And that's just the fact of the matter. Because per YouTube rules, once you lose a channel, you're not supposed to have another channel. And to come back from having lost a channel and do the same exact shit as if you somehow are granted some special privilege that allows you to be here more so than anybody else. that you perceive to be a competitor. Well, if you stop competing where you don't compare, you won't have that problem. And because I refuse to end the night on what was such a positive interaction with my audience, this isn't going to be a long live stream, but I just wanted to show you all what individuals like this do. And that's why you have to be very careful with who you align yourself with on this platform. Now, you did it before and it was successful on a much smaller channel, but make no mistake about it, that was a false flag then, just like this one is now. And the reason why they're able to successfully do it is because if it's a much smaller channel, much smaller channels are much easier to flag. But they do shit like that all the time and then believe that for some reason their channel is exempt. No, your channel is not exempt, because technically you're not supposed to be back on YouTube either. So to resort to the same exact tactics, I could literally pull up an email that will mirror what this video was taken down for, as you were false flagging, and show where you took an entire channel down alleging the same thing, that it was some spam or deceptive practice or scam when nothing was being sold. Nothing was, there wasn't an allegation or even the suggestion that something would be offered to an audience that they didn't receive. I said it was a cyber meet and greet. And again, I'm going to appeal and I'm going to make a note that the individual that flagged it just lost a channel. You can actually lose your channel for false flagging. You and everybody else that helped you do it. It doesn't matter whether or not they're doing it from their actual YouTube channel or whether they're doing it from another channel. The IP address, if the IP address is the same, they can lose their channel. Because that was absolutely a false flag. Now, what was the violation of the community guidelines? The violation for the community guidelines, again, this is YouTube's policy per spam, deceptive practices, and scam policies. Okay? It says the safety of our creators, viewers, and partners is our highest priority. We look to each of you to help us protect this unique and vibrant community. It's important you understand our community guidelines and the role they play in our shared responsibility to keep YouTube safe. Take the time to carefully read the policy below. Also, you can also check out this page for a full list of our guidelines. So basically, when I went to click on the YouTube studio to private, as I do with all streams, the additional viewings of basically the additional live streams, so that it just appears on the main channel, I got the notification that the video had been removed for violating YouTube guidelines regarding spam, deceptive practices, and scams. And that's what he used. That's what he did to get another channel taken down. And it was absolutely a false flag. There was nothing being sold or anything being promoted that had to do with the exchange of any monies or anything like that on the channel. So it goes on to say YouTube doesn't allow spam, scams, or other deceptive practices that take advantage of the YouTube community. So if I'm playing for over 2 hours music that is copyrighted and I'm giving commentary about the song or in accord with a vibe, what part about that is a scam, spam, or deceptive practice? And how is that taking advantage of the YouTube community? It goes on to say, we also don't allow content where the main purpose is to trick others into leaving YouTube for another site. At what time did I even suggest that anybody leave YouTube to go to another site? Therefore, it is a false flag and it's being done strategically by other YouTubers, subscribers, and moderators. It says if you find content that violates this policy, report it. Instructions for reporting violations of our community guidelines are available here. And make no mistake about it, it was done strategically because for the most part, they have to do it from a laptop. Therefore, your IP address has been documented. If you found a few videos or comments that you would like to report, you can report the channel. And that's what they did when they false flagged another channel of mine. I chose, even though I had the option, not to appeal it. There was never anything being sold or any type of scam that involves any money or any exchange of any sort of materialistic thing whatsoever. So it absolutely could have been appealed. But because they successfully did it before, let's do it again. At the end of the day, people don't fuck with you because they don't like you. And they don't like you because you're a jealous, envious bitch. And you are the hater that you're telling everybody else that you have. Most people don't hate on you. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't give a fuck about you or your fucking channel. And if you're attempting to build a channel after losing a channel that was terminated, well, you're going to have to build the channel like everybody else does off their own merit. You wouldn't be the first clout chaser that believed that if you do away with another content creator, your shit is going to be on and popping. Because that's kind of like hoping that people come to your chat room out of what? Because they don't have any place else to go. That means they're not really there because they want to be there. They're there because they don't have any place else to go. But as long as they're there, you really don't care because again, it's not about it's never about with content creators that think and function like that. It's never about the audience, it's about them. Your audience is not here to serve you. You are here to perform a service and to serve your audience. That's what Negroes get confused, that everybody else seems to comprehend. It's not about what your audience can give or do for you. It's about what value, if any, what entertainment you bring to your audience. That's what generates viewership. The way people feel when they come into your space. The way that you interact with your audience as a content creator. Do you see them as dollar signs or do you actually see them as human beings that happen to come upon a chat room? So I will definitely be going back. I will definitely be appealing that false flag, because there is absolutely no reason why a video will be flagged on one channel, and it's usually a much smaller channel that they target for that type of shit. At the end of the day, you're not supposed to be on. You are not special. You're no more special than anybody else who's ever had a channel terminated. That means you're not supposed to be the fuck back on YouTube either. So the way to build another channel is not to start by false flagging to do away with all of your competitors. Because I'm going to appeal those flags, and I'm going to bring it to the attention of the YouTube support team that you just lost a channel, and that they should check into strategic flagging with the hopes that every fucking body that helped you do that shit can lose their channel. That was not done by one individual. Now, you may believe you're the smartest nigga in the room and believe that certain content creators would take the blame for that. No, the person that has done it in the past and false flag for those same reasons is the one that's going to get the case for it. And it's really just as simple as that. But again, that was nobody. I lost a channel for the very same false flag that I was doing. There was nothing being sold. There was no suggestion or any promotion for people to leave YouTube and to go to any other website. So that absolutely is a false fucking flag, and you're going to be reported. And I'm going to file an appeal for that and bring it to the YouTube support team's attention that that's what the fuck you did. It isn't going to make people fuck with you. People don't fuck with you because they don't like you. And shit like that is the reason why people don't like you, because they know you're a hater. At the end of the day, when it comes to rising up in the ranks, when it comes to YouTube as a content creator, either you have it or you don't. You can't attach yourself to other content creators that actually have the ability to create content and to maintain the attention of the audience like a fucking leech and refuse to leave. It's like you've attached yourself to people. You can't. When are you, sir, going to build a channel off of your own merit? When are you going to build a channel without attaching yourself to some black woman that doesn't want anything to do with you? And then justify your actions because you don't have the ability to be original and to actually create content, at least none that nobody's going to watch. So, like the bottom feeding parasite that you are, you attach yourself onto black women and use them as a host for your parasitic lifestyle. When are you actually going to get attention to your channel? See, the problem that a lot of people like you have is that a lot of times people believe that for some reason that you're not operating at some higher vibration. You're operating at a very low vibrating frequency. And the fact of the matter is, if you're not talking about anybody, you can't get anybody to come to your chat room. So you're only talking about among all the content creators that are in this space. That's the reason why you're only talking about a handful of people. That is the personification of a clout chaser. You're not able to go live and just talk about you're not that entertaining, and you're not that interesting for you to be able to garner an audience and maintain the attention of the audience for hours and hours on end. The only people that are going to be coming to your channel are the people that are there because they hate who you're talking about. Not going live and actually not addressing or talking about any other content creator at all, and still doing reasonably decent as it relates to views. So again, this was the false flag. There's no reason why the very same video will be flagged on another channel. But it's much more difficult to get that off with a much bigger channel. But you're not supposed to be on YouTube at all. You're no different than any other content creator that's had a channel that's been terminated. And to come back off of a termination, false flagging, with the hopes that somebody else will get the blame for it. No, the person that did that filed that same false claim before, because most people that get, if it was another content creator or another sector, they would have taken the video down for cyberbullying and harassment. That's not what happened. It's not that type of a flag. It's the same flag that got Messy MILF Memoirs taken down. And I'm quite sure if they were to do a side-by-side comparison of the IP addresses that successfully got that channel taken down, even though that channel had absolutely no strikes whatsoever on it, none, they were able to successfully get an entire channel with absolutely no strikes taken down, claiming that there was some sort of spam, deceptive practices, or scam. Well, where is the spam, deceptive practice, or scam in that last live stream or any other live stream? I don't take money from people on false pretenses. I don't direct people from YouTube onto another platform unless it's another platform that I am rightfully able to direct traffic to, which would either be Patreon, my blog, or a podcast. And I'm lawfully able to do that because YouTube gives you the option to share other social media platforms where you're active. So that in and of itself is not a violation of YouTube's policies. But that's a perfect example of how they don't want anything positive. People think that, that while they're all talking about, what they're all about, no, they're about the bullshit. And when I said earlier, you're not going to be able to take everybody with you, understand that those are the individuals that act in the capacity of anchors. If you allow yourself to continuously get entangled with these individuals, the worst thing you could possibly do for an individual that's an attention whore is to ignore them, or for them to not get the attention that they feel entitled to. Not attention that they're deserving of, not attention that they've deserved, not attention that they've worked hard in order to get, but attention and adoration and adulation that they feel entitled to. Why are they looking at you when they should be looking and listening to them. If you want to see their mask slip, deny them the attention they feel entitled to. Deny them that blind loyalty that turns a blind eye and a deaf ear to every fucked up thing that they do under the sun. And I'll show you their true character. So that's all I wanted to say, you guys. Thank you guys for all of you that came through and that interacted, and that made it worth my time and worth my energy by actually enjoying the actual stream. But I did want to point out the fact that that was absolutely a false flag, and that is per YouTube's own policies. And what's going to happen with people that continuously abuse the flagging system, it makes it that much more difficult. They're going to start really cracking down on a lot of shit because of what they're doing. And they don't get the gist of it. And then the minute that they start cracking down, they're going to be hollering about racism and hollering about how they're being shadow banned. But it won't hit them until they start to suffer the consequences. When they're not able to make any money or just create another channel, then they'll get the gist of it. You know, you don't have to be sorry. You know, it was still, you know, and that's why I said we're not going to allow them. You can't constantly give these people gratification. You're talking about individuals that actually derive a gratification and a satisfaction out of you being upset. They are miserable and unhappy, and they want you to be the same way. So people getting together without talking about other people, actually having a good time, actually bothers these type of individuals. But you can't acquiesce and give into that each and every time that's what they're demanding of you. You have to leave them to their own vices. Okay? With that being said, thank you guys for coming back. I certainly appreciate you, but I just wanted to bring that to you all's attention. Don't feel sorry for him for losing his channel. Absolutely, he lost his. Do you know how many channels he's flagged, or how many videos, how many other content creators he's flagged, and then got up here and bragged about knocking other people's shit down, but his still standing. And he's not doing it because there is some actual why would you do that? Flag somebody else's channel when you're engaged in the same behavior. If you're doing the same thing that you're flagging somebody else's channel for, what other motivation would you have for doing that? Because he's a jealous, envious bitch. So I didn't feel one iota of sympathy for him for losing a channel. Now he knows how it feels for other people that have actually put in the work to build a channel, and then have somebody that's jealous and envious of your views because they can't compete with your views, or because they can't gather an audience that is attracted to them organically. They want to destroy your shit because they can't build it. And you have to be aware of people like that. If they can't build it, they will try to destroy the shit that you build. So you have to do like routine house cleanings to get individuals like that away from you, because they act in the capacity as anchors. They're not going anywhere. If they don't have any creativity, at some point, roasting, gagging, that's only going to get you but so far, unless you intend to be a stand-up comedian. It should be some flexibility there, but there is none. And then you have individuals that it takes time. If you have a platform that's built upon beefing or roasting, it takes time, if you're not doing that, to build an audience that has an appetite for that other type of content. That takes time. Experienced YouTubers understand that. But you have people that do nothing but beef, roast, and gag, and they expect to do the same numbers that they're going to do when they... No, it doesn't work that way. You have to actually put in the work. So you're talking about individuals that are very lazy, that are not here, that they're lazy in life, and they're lazy, period. So they don't want to put in the work that it takes to actually build an audience. It looks easy when you see bigger content creators, and I'm a very, very small content creator, but when you see bigger content creators do it, it looks easy, but it's not. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of energy. It's a lot of sleepless nights. It's a lot of brainstorming. And they want the path of least resistance. And instead of them focusing on their own channels, hey Big Bird, hey Bird, instead of them focusing on their own channels, they're constantly watching somebody else's success, which is why they will never reach success. You can't focus on your own shit long enough because you're too worried about what the fuck somebody else is doing. You need not call out every person that you peep doing that, but definitely make mental note of it and try to put a safe distance between you and individuals that operate like that, because they don't want to see you win. And they will be the very anchor that will keep you there at the same if they don't have the ability to do anything else, they're too afraid. And this is the reason why I think so many people experience a lack of support. They're genuinely afraid of supporting you in your platform because they are afraid that you will surpass them. So a lot of times I see smaller content creators complain about the lack of support. Well, that's the reason why they're not supporting you, because they're afraid that you'll surpass them. So they want to keep you waiting in the wings or keep you as some trusty sidekick. They don't want you to reach the pinnacle of your greatness. Even if they got there before you, they still wouldn't wish that for you. They enjoy keeping you right where you are. And you have to be able to identify individuals like that and move accordingly. You don't have to call them out about anything. Make mental note of how they operate, and you move accordingly. At some point, sometimes you just got to tell motherfuckers to move around. Okay? And that's fucked up, but it has to be that way. And that those are just lessons I learned the hard way on this platform. That everybody does not want you to win. Absolutely, Queen of the South. That's what it kind of like reminds me of. All right, so guys, thank you guys again for making the sexy Saturday, so sip and socialize a success. You know, coming out, y'all showed up and y'all showed out, and I appreciate that. It was well, y'all made it worth my time. Okay, and at the end of the day, that's why I said, you know, you're supposed to be bringing something to your audience. And I think what's happened is a lot of the money. There used to be a time when YouTube partnership was a very arduous process, and only the best of the best. There was a time when getting a YouTube partnership, this bullshit that a lot of that goes on up here, they would never get monetized. But opening that door to making it easy to get monetization and to have different avenues that they can get money, cash apps, PayPals, that sort of thing, it's made people very lazy. And it's made those that feel entitled anyway to feel even more entitled. They don't believe they're supposed to bring you anything. They're not supposed to entertain you. They're not supposed to bring you any type of value. They believe that they're here to benefit off of you. There's no fair exchange. So yes, they're not going to be able to comprehend people who can show up in the world authentically and to attract an audience organically. They're not going to be able to comprehend that. That's beyond their fucking comprehension. Because again, they believe, okay, well, if I put this out about that ain't changed your mind about the person. Well, let me go and dig this up. What about that? That ain't changed your mind. You still don't like the nigga. You still like the nigga after this. You still like the bitch after that. Well, let me go dig a little bit deeper and put something else out. And what happens is when they're not able to turn people away, they become livid. And to that I say, you just have to keep going. Allow people to be people, allow them to be true to their character, and just treat them accordingly. That's all you have to do. Okay? So with that being said, good night, everybody. Thank you guys. Enjoy the remainder of your night. Okay? And be safe. Peace, everybody.